Welcome to the NC Spin After Spin. Additional comments from our panelists just available on our website. I want to ask each of you, what do you wish you had said on last week's show, but you didn't? John Hood, I'll start with you.
Tom, we were talking about the issues that we think are most important, and as we talk through the different examples, I mentioned education. We heard a lot about urban-rural divide. We heard about healthcare and infrastructure, and they're all connected, obviously. But when I was talking specifically about personnel in education, teachers and principals that deliver the service, this is a problem of how to figure out the right match between the skills of educators and the particular jobs, and really providing ways to incentivize educators to stay in the profession, get better, create their own schools. Think about education as more of a profession and more of a dynamic system. This is something that people are having this conversation in Asia, they're having it in Europe, they're having it in the developing world, they're having it in all the states. If North Carolina could get a little bit ahead of the curve on this, it will benefit greatly in the long run.
Becky, what do you wish you'd have said on last week's show?
Tom, when we were talking about the urban-rural divide and the challenges with that and the problems that are posed by that, one of the things that I didn't get to is where these people are moving and why and what their philosophy and political background looks like. And what we're seeing as more people move to the urban areas, they tend to be more liberal, tend to be more progressive, tend to be more Democrat. Those that are living in the rural areas tend to be more conservative, more Republican. And so it's not only that you have the demographic difference, but you have a philosophical gap that I think is growing too, that is something that is going to complicate some of these decisions that are being made, but clearly something that we need to find an answer to.
Okay, so a lot of the people that are moving into the state obviously are coming from other states, but these people that are migrating from rural areas to urban areas, what is it about them that causes them to change from being conservative to more liberal?
That's a good question. I wish I knew the answer to that, but it could be just I don't know the answer to that.
Well, think about
it.
We'll ask you the next time you're on.
That's a good question.
Age has a lot to do with it too. Age has a lot to do with it too.
Okay, Brad Kroon.
We were talking about the what goes around comes around, and talking about the Democrats ever taking over control of the General Assembly. I think they'll make gradual steps. You've got good leadership in the chamber with Darren Jackson. Greg Meyer from Chapel Hill, up-and-coming legislative leader, has really stepped up a digital media presence. They have put together a new political action committee called Our Shot, which is basically fueled by progressive donors in Chapel Hill and Durham. So they are putting together an improved apparatus to be competitive in the election process. But Tom, it still comes back to what you said in the show 2 weeks ago. It comes down 27%, 28% of your total votes cast are unaffiliated voters.
No, it's 30% now.
So,
I checked the voter registration. They're 30% Republican, 30%
the total votes cast.
Yeah,
okay.
Percentage of total votes
That's
cast.
Registrations. Chris Fitzsimon, what do you wish you'd have said?
Well, we talked about what are the big issues facing the state, and I think we all, three of us at least, talked about rural-urban. We talked about the haves and have-nots, for lack of a better word. But, some of this isn't rocket science, and I'm always disappointed. I think there's a consensus now that at-risk kids who are eligible for NC pre-K, it helps them succeed. They do a lot better in school, and we can't seem to find the money in a year with a $580 million surplus, cutting taxes by $850 million over 2 years, putting $360 million in savings, $18 million more in the Senate budget would eliminate the waiting list for NC pre-K. And I'm always almost offended to use that term. It's not a waiting list, because when a kid is on the list and he's 4 and he doesn't get in, then he's gone. There's no waiting list. You don't come back when you're 5. And it seems that there's some simple things that we could do immediately to have an impact on poor areas in North Carolina.
And most all the studies show that you reach them earlier in an age.
There's no dispute about that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for watching the After Spin. We'll have more video all during the week on ncspin.com.